And we're live. Welcome to another episode of Easy Sports. And today I'm joined by the homies, Sikhe N, Shavar. Gentlemen, how are you doing?
I'm
Don't
always
know
good.
if
I'm
it's
always good.
Yeah. I know, and I can see your headsets match your what again?
he's
I
color
didn't even notice
coordinated.
that.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
color coordinated. This guy.
color coordinated.
Uh,
Yeah.
he's talking crap though when he
Hey.
says he's always all right. I think the past couple of days the rumor mill has been spewing out news that he doesn't really want to hear unless he's come to terms with
100%.
them.
It's
Then
nothing.
it
Well, which
yes.
rumor are you speaking about specifically?
This,
Um. Oh, there we go.
yeah.
There's your headline there.
Oh, well, that's not a rumor. I think that's like
Done
reported
deal.
fact
Given.
now. Yeah, like we saw it coming. We kind of should have suspected it when everybody else signed 5-year deals and Trent signed a 3.5-year deal or a 4-year deal. Um, Yeah, look, I don't think he's a traitor. Um,
Thank you.
Thank
he's
you, Shiva.
won everything, literally won everything. He joined for free.
Mhm.
So, you know, it's essentially it would be if Madrid paid 75 million for Van Dijk at the end of the season because
Mm.
we got him for free. He gave us 8 years, 9 years. Um, he was the best right back in the world for some of that time. I still think he's the best right back in the world. Um,
Mm.
yeah, look, I read this article about youth academy players at clubs, right?
Mm.
When when a youth academy kid who's been in our academy since they were 10 and now they're 17 and they're graduated from the academy, but they're not good enough for the first team, we let them go, right? We
Yeah.
let them go. They go to the championship or whatever, or League One or wherever, and it's business, right? But that kid was loyal to us for his entire childhood, basically. Now we have someone who is essentially doing the same thing, but in reverse, where he stuck with us, he won everything, and now at the end of his contract, he's leaving. Like I'm disappointed, but I'm not upset. I'm not angry. I don't think he's a traitor. I don't think we should be painting over his mural. I don't think that whole thing of he must never play for us again. I mean, what do you want him to do? He's said nothing bad about the club. He's had some bad games, but I think he's been playing through injury. But he shows up, he gets on with it. He's had more good games than bad games this season by far.
Mm.
Um, what do you want him to do? What do you expect him to do? Like,
Mm.
if if he if he wants a new challenge, and he wants Spain, and he wants to play with his best friend, and earn I don't know how much. It's actually not that much more. That's another thing that makes me think that this is not actually just about the money. There is some footballing reasons there. I think he's on 180, and they're going to pay him like 220.
Yeah.
So it's not that big of a jump. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
look, obviously I'm not happy. We're losing the best right back in the world for nothing. But I mean, like if he's
Say
26,
that
going to
again.
be 27, he wants a new challenge. He's done
Mhm.
everything we've asked of him. What more can we really ask for?
Mm. I don't know, Shiva. I'm surprised. I thought maybe you'd be here upset, losing your
No,
head.
I'm
Yeah.
upset. I'm not.
Yeah.
It's not. He didn't backstab us. This is
Mm-hmm.
not Phil Coutinho faking a back injury to not play for us. This kid's
Mm.
played for us while he was injured,
Mm-hmm.
right? So he's still giving everything. He hasn't said anything about us in the media. Like he got on with it. He knew what he wanted at the end of the season. He got on with it. He did what he had to do. He hasn't been unprofessional.
Mm.
Yeah, like
So
fair
what's
play.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I actually I saw, what was it, last week when the rumored move, like
Mm.
the train started moving, and I'm seeing a lot of Merseyside people saying he's a fucking traitor, this, that, and
Mm.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is the same person that's saying that Trent is a traitor, is working for his dad's company, but he's got a LinkedIn profile, and is available for hire. So it's like,
Exactly.
it's,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm.
but
Well,
like
those same
for him,
people,
it's hmm?
those same people who are saying Trent is a traitor were calling Zubimendi a weakling for not wanting to leave his boyhood club.
Yeah.
Right? You can't have
Mhm.
it both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Facts.
I think it's blown out of proportion. The kid wants a new challenge, and let the kid get his challenge. And the beauty of it is, I think he's given you his all, as you said. He played through injuries, and I don't know if it should hurt or it should sting that it seems like he's genuinely moving for footballing reasons, and it's not the
Yeah.
money. It's not the money grab that everyone is anticipating or expecting of him. Because like, okay, the color of his skin doesn't really help, but he's gonna get that. Oh
That
yeah,
treatment,
it's a
my
money
G.
grab. Yeah, that treatment, of which
Mm.
it's utter crap. But he's showing it. If he's moving for 220 and he's on 180, that's not a lot. Okay, cool. If you factor in the taxes, that's out of the world, compared to.
Also, he'll get a
But
big sign-on bonus. But I
Yeah,
mean,
20 million
mm,
apparently.
when
That's a
how
when you
much?
say
lot.
it's for
20.
footballing reasons, in a footballing sense, what's he got left to achieve at Liverpool?
I think Liverpool has peaked. That's just my personal view. I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's how I view how Liverpool is moving. Um, I think these deals that you guys have been fortunate of making, I'm not gonna say lucky, but like fortunate on making, at some point, that's going to stop. And the minute that that stops, I think that's where you are right now, because it's not going to be as easy as how you signed. Who's that Brighton Argentinian?
McAllister.
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 Mm.
That's you. Yeah, I don't know what news you had of whoever in the board at fucking Brighton, but yeah. So I think clubs have caught on in that you guys, is it the PSG or FSG group, can
FSG.
make
FSG.
like the
FSG.
T, right? Like that T. X knows that what I'm talking about. They can make good deals, but I think
Um, yeah.
I think clubs have caught on to that, and there's not going to be more of that unless you go Portugal, and I don't see you doing
We
that route.
we haven't been afraid to pay up when the time comes. We Van Dijk's a
Who?
Van Dijk's was a record defender.
Yeah, it
Allison was
was.
a
For
world
okay,
record
cool.
goalkeeper.
Hmm.
Soboslai was 70 mil.
Yeah. You guys
Darwin
Now you
had
Nunez
overpaid
to
there.
85 mil, but I think he's at like
I
50
there.
something now.
No,
Keita was
okay.
also
I
50
think
bar.
Yeah.
no, you overpaid there. He limped out of the place. So yeah. So
Well,
don't
I
give us
I
yeah.
don't think I have a view on Keita. Yes, he had his injury issues, but when he played, he was good. And the season that we got the
That's how
most out of him
many.
was
That's
also
how
the
many
season we
minutes.
won the
That's
league. So
how many
he
minutes in
had
this
two.
in
I mean,
the
look,
league.
I'm not saying he was worth the 50 million. The point I was making was when the time come for us to pay up, we paid up, right? If we really liked the player, we paid up. I don't think Keita was a success, but I don't think he was a flop. He
Yeah.
definitely contributed to us winning the league and the Champions League. Um,
I
yeah, he
think
was
the
fine.
deals that you made where you paid up, you were your hand was kind of forced. The FSG group hand was kind of forced because I think that's the time that you guys were going toe to toe with City, and City have shown in the past like 15 and odd years they are not afraid to break the bank. They're not afraid to cheat the rules.
See, I actually
And
disagree with that. I think City are a little bit more reserved than we give them credit for. They
nah,
do
bullshit.
say that this is as high as we're willing to go for this player. If you want more,
Nah.
then we're not paying. It's just they're obviously willing to go higher than most other clubs, but they're not. And I'm sorry to do this. They're not Man United, who's going to say, "Here's 100 bar for your, right winger," who's had one good season in fucking the Eredivisie.
You chose the wrong club there in a bunch of like what do they say, fool in his gold with Man United. But with City, the official numbers that they give, I don't know if you know that one of the charges that they're facing in these 116 charges is who's that Italian manager that
Mancini.
Mancini.
was it Mancini? Yeah,
Yeah, it's
they
Mancini.
they were paying him. So he got the official. This is how much he gets paid. But there were funds that were transferred into like a shell company that his agent owned, and there was also form part of the package that he was getting paid. So when you say that Man City are very
Okay,
reserved, I
yeah,
don't think
that's
so.
probably
I think
true.
the oil
Probably true.
that they have lubricates everything. It like freaking makes everything just like yeah.
Slide.
Slide. Hey.
Well,
Another thing.
these 116 charges might slide away if you're not careful.
Yeah,
Oil
yeah,
money. That's all it
yeah.
boils down
Yeah,
to. Oil
but
money.
on Trent,
Mm.
honestly, if it's confirmed that he's moving to Madrid, fucking brilliant. It's a brilliant move for him. He's going to be a few English players that go and represent their country in a foreign, represent in a foreign land, and I think Madrid doesn't get better. It doesn't get better than that, guys. I think if
Yeah.
we all have teams that we support, but Madrid is something else.
No.
And the talent that they are compiling now is talent for the next 10 years, because
Mm.
they've got those two kids that are sitting on the bench. Sabaslai had a fight with the Turkish boy sitting on the
Gula.
bench, and he's
The
fucking
Gula.
brilliant. And you look at their team right now. Mbappe is sitting on 33 goals, and the season is not over. And that's
Mm.
the record that freaking Cristiano Ronaldo. That's how many goals he had in a season, in his like debut season, 33. And this kid still has like 3 months left in the calendar year. Before, sorry,
And he
in
starts
the
it
league.
slowly. He was off to a terrible start, Mbappe.
Yeah. It's terrible start, bro.
No, they called him a flop and everything. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just speaking on the talent that they have there. It's I don't have a vested interest in the kid, but it's like he's doing big things. He's taking a chance. It's a huge
Mhm.
chance that it's a huge gamble that he's taking, where he's saying he's settled, he's got his starting place and whatnot, but he's like, no, I want to win everything that is possibly there to win.
Yeah.
The thing is also the timing of it, right? It's not when we were coming up under Klopp. And it's
Yeah.
not, oh, Jurgen's left now. I'm going to throw my toys and leave. It's
No, yeah,
okay.
he gave you what, a year.
We've won everything. Jurgen's now left, so I need to consider my future. But there's a new manager, so I'm going to give him a chance, and I'm going to do my best. And it looks like we're going to win the league this season. So he'll leave as a league winner. I mean,
Yeah.
what? Like, it's fine. It's disappointing.
Yeah.
It would be better if he signed a new contract and stayed. I obviously would have wanted him to stay. Yeah, look, it does tick me off a little bit that he's going, but like, what is he supposed to do? He can't. He When you're that age and you have that much ambition, you can't just stay in one city your whole life.
And you're given the opportunity that what's his
Yes,
name, that Don is given. It's like, yo, dude,
yes,
come through. Like you
Yeah.
you
don't
can't
say no.
stay in one city your whole life. Like, fair play. He's served the club well over the last. I think he made his debut in 2017.
Mhm.
So what's that?
I'm
8 years?
when it comes to Madrid, yeah, when it comes to Madrid, I'm at peace with it. I'm like, ah, fucking hell, they can just do whatever. They came through. They took Rudiger, they took Hazard, they took who else? They took our keeper. So it's one of those where these players look at Madrid the way that we view Madrid. Madrid is like right up there, guys. Like
The
if
pinnacle,
Madrid
bro.
wants a player, yeah, man, like fucking just take him and get it over and
Yeah.
done with.
Another thing is Sihle and Shavar. Trent walks into that team. They need him. They
Yeah,
need a
that
right
slot
back.
is yeah.
And another thing is that they don't have a set piece taker. Now they have one in
Mhm.
Trent.
Well,
So Trent
Mbappe
is
scored his first
first ever.
free kick. Yeah, first ever
Yeah.
professional free kick.
But we don't know Mbappe as a free kick taker though. We know him as someone who normally runs with the ball. He's usually not on set piece duty, and so now they finally have someone who can actually do that. So Trent, I do believe that he's going to hit the ground running. It's going to be similar to how Ashley Cole hit the ground running when he joined your team, Sihle, in
Yep,
Chelsea.
from Arsenal.
Instantly,
Yeah.
it was an instant impact, and your team improved drastically. I do believe that he will hit the ground running, guys. And
But I think also on the free kicks, they might have someone in mind.
Who else? Oh, wait. Hey, when are you like moving way ahead? Relax.
Trent is a better free kick taker than the person you
Wait.
have in mind.
100%. But I'm just saying, even with set pieces as well, finally Madrid have someone who is known for that. So I do believe that his game will elevate, in my opinion. I do believe that we will, speak very highly of him even more at Madrid. Same as CR7 when he left United, he was up there, but he took it up a notch from a numbers standpoint, where we were like, yo,
And
is this
fair
the
play to
greatest
him.
player
I
ever?
hope he does well.
Yeah, same here. Shava. As much as I'm a United fan, it's just good to see English players finally getting out of their comfort zones. Like, really, Premier League is not really be all and end all, in my opinion. And
It's brilliant.
Yeah,
It's brilliant. But
it's brilliant.
yeah.
Yeah, it's good to see him move. But anyway,
I
I'd like
would have preferred if he stayed. Like, I
Yeah.
want to close off with that. I would have preferred if
Yeah.
he stayed. But I
Mm.
mean, he's got to do what he's got to do.
Yeah, no, indeed. And of course, Sihle, you were speaking about another player who could potentially take free kicks. I think Trishul needs to speak. It's been 17 minutes. The guy hasn't said nothing.
He's
just been chilling, waiting for his turn.
I'll even
Trishul,
put
mate.
myself on mute.
Let's go, Trishul.
Oh yeah, he's acting like he's on mute now. Can you guys hear me?
Come on, Trishul. You playing games. He's lying. We can't hear you, dog.
Oh gosh.
Is he seriously? I thought maybe he's playing.
It's cool.
We can't hear you, bro. Did they put you? He's not on mute, nah. He's not even on mute,
Yeah,
bro.
I think it shows. It shows that the Portuguese gods don't want him to speak.
Come on.
Look, I don't see Bruno to Madrid happening.
Same here.
Personally, I don't.
Why not?
I think the talent in front of him. And
He's not
going to be a.
We can't hear you, bro.
As a cam, he's not better than Jude, and as a box to box, he's not better than Valverde.
Yes.
So, and he's too good of a player to play on the bench.
Yes. It doesn't matter how many games Madrid has in a season. I don't see him going to go and warm the bench. It's a nice bench to warm because of the talent that's in front of you. It might just sharpen him. Like it might just take him to the next level of his career. But I don't see it happening. But should it happen,
yeah,
it would be good for him.
Yep.
It would be good for Man United.
Yep.
In that,
I don't know about that.
I think it will be good.
I don't know. About that.
That's how.
My good is good.
Yeah.
Because I don't see them surviving. I don't see them surviving.
Another thing is that you guys forget that we've sold bigger players than Bruno Fernandes in the past. We've sold David Beckham in his prime.
Timing.
Ruud Van Nistelrooy. Listen.
Hold up.
No. Let me land.
Bruno Fernandes is keeping you out of the relegation zone right now.
It's not Bruno, bro. It's not.
Who is it? It's not Onana.
It's not anyone.
It's not Onana. It's not Masraoui. It's not the Ligt. It's not Maguire. It's not your Butcher. It's not your injured left back. It's not your new left back. It's no one. It's
but
Bruno.
For the mere fact, okay, you guys, I just feel like we overrate Bruno as if Bruno is the greatest thing to ever play for Man United. I've seen Ruud van Nistelrooy leave my club.
Yes,
And
but when Ruud van Nistelrooy left, you had Wayne Rooney.
No, but still, he was a young Wayne Rooney. He was an 18, 19-year-old Wayne Rooney, 18, 19-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo.
He was older than that.
No, but
he was older than that. No, but you also had Louis Saha, who was
but he came the
better than any striker you have now.
Yeah, but he came the season after, and no one wanted Louis Saha at that time because he came from Fulham. He wasn't like someone who was popping, guys. Come on. You know, even with CR7 as well, and Wayne Rooney, these guys were still raw and they were still young. And, you know, as time progressed, things worked out for them, you know. So for me, I just feel like as United fans, we need to stop looking at a savior instead of looking at the team as a collect. No, he's not a savior. We're 13th in the league. How are you a savior? We haven't won.
Well, you could.
No, it's not Bruno though. Come on, dog. Come on.
Okay.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. It's a team game.
Yeah, but Homie turns up for 1 month, and you guys are saying that he's a savior. Come on.
This is from the outside. No, this is from the outside.
It's within context of your season. He is being by far and away your best player since he joined the club.
No, since
he's improved.
But football is a what have you done for me lately sport. It's like a share price. Your shares, the stock can be dope 10 years ago, but 10 years later be shit. You know what I mean? Right now, he's not really, he's not really carrying.
Where do you think?
Okay, Nguban, let me just put it this way to our brother X over here.
Yeah,
Bruno Fernandes is the only player in the United squad that has more goals at Old Trafford than Mo Salah.
So
you had to.
And how many trophies has that? How many trophies?
He's got you 2 trophies.
What are those big trophies that we can now celebrate?
Trophies.
Come on,
they're trophies. Would you rather have them or not have them?
Now we can let them speak. Okay, hold on.
Okay, he's fixed his audio. He's fixed his audio.
No, but can I just answer this? It's not a trophy. As a person who's been supporting United since 2003, who have seen us win the big ears, which is the Champions League, these 2 trophies are not trophies that I would brag to you about and say, Shavar, Sihle, I'm better than you because I
What are you saying? What are you saying about Bruno's ears now?
No,
just because he hasn't lifted the Champions League. Fucking hell, I'm talking about guy. The Champions League. It's just a rumor, guy. Don't throw the baby out. And
I know it's not, but anyway, Shavar, take it away, bro.
I've had my chance. Give it to this kid.
I mean, sorry, Trishu.
Looks like he's been waiting.
Yeah.
Look, firstly, that source that was saying 90 million whatever, that's a shit source. It's not true. X to counter everything you're saying about Van Nistelrooy, about Beckham.
Yeah.
Who in world football do we sign for 90 million that replaces Bruno Fernandes? There isn't anyone, because Wirtz is going to cost way more than 90 million. Let's get that out of the way first. Secondly, you can't say, okay, yes, we're United fans and stuff like that, and we're used to the trophies. We won the Champions League 18 years ago. 100%. Some people aren't even 18 years. Like the time it took between us winning the Champions League and now is old enough to drink. That's how long it's been. We haven't won the league
2008,
in
right?
years.
17 years.
Yeah, 17 that's a very 17. Yeah, going on 17 years.
I was
That's a very long time. Bruno Fernandes has been at United for 5 years and he's won 2 trophies. Could have won a 3rd Europa League title, but the penalty shootout. The thing is, you can only win what's in front of you.
How old can you?
Wait. Let me land.
Because I feel like maybe you were too young to understand the magnitude of that trophy, and you're using these 2 dead trophies.
I'm not in any way saying that the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup is on the same level as the Champions League and the Premier League.
They're below the PSL title, dog. I'm a Pirates fan, dog. I would celebrate the PSL way more than those 2 trophies, though.
Okay, but anyway, you can say what you want about the Carabao Cup, but definitely not the FA Cup. It definitely not the FA Cup. But also another thing is was this team good enough to win the Champions League? Was this team good enough to win the Premier League? It wasn't. You take out David Beckham, you take out Ruud van Nistelrooy. those teams were still good enough to win the league and the Champions League.
Thank you.
Ronaldo left United. Our two strikers up front were Rooney and Berbatov. We won the league.
And Michael
Ronaldo
Owen.
left. Tevez
Valid
left.
point.
Evra was getting on. Vidic was getting on. Ferdinand was getting on. Giggs and Scholes were in their late 30s. We won the league. We won the league with players like we had some shit players, but that's because we had a good manager. So you had Darren Gibson.
Yeah, Darren
Now
Gibson.
look at some of the players we had then. Like, yes, those players were not to the level of Beckham and Van Nistelrooy, but those players are certainly better than what we have now. Nani is a much better winger than what we had. Ashley Young. When we signed Ashley Young that first season, he was incredible for United. He was really good at Villa as well. Then you look at the strikers. Chicharito would walk into United's first team and easily get 15, 20 goals a season. In his first season at United, he scored 20 goals. So you can't say that, these trophies are small because they're still trophies. Some teams haven't won trophies, i.e. Arsenal, but they're pushing for the league, but they're not winning the league. But when you look at Arsenal's team compared to ours, pound for pound, they have the better team, but they haven't won anything. So
That's
are we
sad
saying
for
that?
them,
So are we
That's
going to
sad
say
for
that no, Saliba isn't a world-class player? Saliba isn't Arsenal's best player because they haven't won the Champions League, the league, the FA Cup, the Carabao. They won the Community Shield.
I never said Bruno's not the best. All I'm saying,
I get what you're saying, but you need to understand. Without Bruno Fernandes, we would be finished.
Yeah.
Finished.
Okay, hold on. I get X's point because you're saying without Bruno Fernandes, you would be finished. But you're already finished, right? I think what X is trying to say is if you can sell Bruno and instead of buying a 10, buy one of those wide 10s that who's your manager Amarim likes, and get a proper wing back or get someone who can reliably play alongside Ugarte in midfield. You were weakening one position, but you are overall lifting the entire team, and I can understand that. It's just the risk behind it is a bit much because you're moving something that you know works.
2017, 2018, where you can sell a player like Coutinho for 130 million and sign world-class players for 30, 40, 50 million.
But let's be honest, guys. Football standards have dropped in the last.
Yeah, of course. No, it has. We had this conversation the other day. There's two, maybe three world-class strikers. 10 years ago, there was over.
I was watching. I was watching, I don't remember what it was, but someone called in and said, if you look at the teams 15 years ago, there's only a handful of teams now that are better than the team 15 years ago. And I'm like, no, wait, Liverpool is definitely better than we were 15 years ago. And then I thought about it. I think this was last year sometime. Then I thought about it. I'm like, okay, but hold on. 15 years ago, we had Gerard Alonso Mascherano. We had Torres. We had Pepe Reina. Like, we're probably better now, but it's not by. And I'd argue that we're even
flat
not.
Out is City.
It's
the only team you can say that flat out for is City,
only
but that's
City.
because they didn't exist 15 years ago.
Guys, like, look at this.
Maybe Spurs. Okay, maybe not this Spurs, but Spurs a couple of years ago.
15 years ago, Spurs had Gareth Bale. In 2010, Bale played for Spurs. They had Rafael van der Vaart.
They had Defoe.
They had
Modric.
They had Modric.
They had Luka Kranjčar. You know Luka Kranjčar. They had Modric.
They had the legend himself, Peter Crouch.
Yeah, they had Ledley King.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of. They had Ledley King.
You see what I'm saying? Standards have dropped, bro. Like Nani. Nani would be a world-class winger in this game.
Yes, Nani would be considered
but in that era, he wasn't.
And he was nowhere near, dog. Nowhere near the one of the best, bro.
See, to just prove that point, the fact that Johnny Evans can still start for United now proves that point. Because 15 years ago, he was our rotational centre-back. Now he can come into the team, he can still do a job and look like a good centre-back. I'm agreeing with you in standards have dropped. But the thing is, our standard has dropped not just because of United. The whole of the Premier League standard has dropped. And that's why Arsenal are a team that are fighting for the Premier League. Arsenal. You put this Arsenal team back then, look at them relying on corners. You want to go and put Arsenal up against Prime Stoke City and you want to see what will happen. Think about it like that. An Arsenal team where they play small players everywhere else besides defense, are they going to handle Kenwyne Jones they're not going to handle Kenwyne Jones because that's all Stoke City did. But
Yeah,
now, when
but
you
like-
come into
okay.
this day and age, it's more tactical. It's more analysis.
They
It's more
ruined it.
analytics. It has been ruined. But the thing is, like, to
Can
go
we
back
do
on
an exercise just to prove this point, right?
Mm.
Let's take Premier League, call it team of the season, but let's take an 11 from that era. And from that era, I'm talking
Which year?
2006 World Cup to about 2010 World Cup, right? So that era, and compare it to this era, which is post-COVID till now, right? Can
there's
we
not
do
a
that
single player
exercise?
from this team of the season that gets in the 2006 to 2010 team.
I
There isn't a
think
single one.
there are. I think you could make an argument for
Maybe
Salah.
Salah. Yeah, maybe Salah.
Yeah, maybe Salah.
It's
yeah.
just Salah. It's not Van Dijk because Vidic, Terry, Ferdinand were all there. There isn't
You
a
could make an
goalkeeper because
argument.
Chet
Okay,
and Van der
you could
Sar.
make an
So I'm
argument
looking
for
at the
Van
team.
Dijk,
I'm
but he'd
looking-
lose.
Yeah,
He'd
I'm
come
looking at the
third.
team. So it was Van der Sar, Neville,
Yeah.
Ferdinand, Vidic, Evra, Ronaldo, Gerrard, Scholes, Giggs, Drogba, Berbatov.
You could make an argument for Kyle
right
Walker.
now that's better than Rooney and Drogba were during that era, and that's not even including players like Tevez, players like Anelka. Ronaldo played right, left, right,
Even
right,
Torres.
mid, left, mid. Even Torres.
I
Torres is
would
better than all of
take.
them.
I would actually
Yeah.
take that 3.5 years of Fernando Torres over Erling Haaland right now. Cheese, don't at me, Cheese. Don't at me. Actually, at me. I don't care.
Cheese has got enough of
But
City.
look,
He said it this
I
past
just want to
weekend.
go back to my point about Bruno. If Bruno leaves, firstly, let me explain this in the best way I can. If Bruno leaves for 90, 100 million, I will not be mad because for two reasons. If Ineos and Wilcox know what they're doing with the 100 million, they can spend that right. Look at Aiden Heaven, that was £1 million. That's for sure. These guys know what they're doing to some extent. The second reason is if there is ever a player from United who actually deserves to play for Madrid and win trophies, it is him.
Yeah.
Because you can play Bruno as a 10, you can play Jude as box to box, and you can play one of Camavinga or Tchouameni sitting. Madrid are that defensively good with those three that it'll work.
Yeah.
But then also, look, I don't think it's going to happen. But if it does, I would be sad that he'd leave, but I wouldn't blame him. Replacing him is not going to be easy. There isn't a player in the world that replaces him because, okay, you can replace his creativity, but then you can't replace his defensive work rate. You can replace his goal output, but then you can't replace his creativity. There aren't many players that offer all the things that he offers. So that's what
I think there are two players that offer all the things that he
You'd be
offers.
surprised.
But I also think both those players already play for Madrid. That's why I don't think the move's going to happen.
Yeah.
I also don't think it'll happen. I think he's more suited to Barcelona than Madrid.
No, he's not suited to Barcelona. At
No,
all.
He doesn't.
He's
retain
the most
possession.
anti-Barcelona player.
He doesn't retain possession very well.
I wouldn't say most anti, but yeah, he's also.
Already-
He's literally worse for Barcelona than Andy Carroll is.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know about that now.
Nah, but
I don't know about Andy Carroll.
Like you look at Barcelona's midfielders, bro. When it comes to holding on to possession and dribbling, which are areas where I feel are of weakness of Bruno, that's what they require you to do as a midfielder. So my point is not to say that I think Bruno sucks, that I hate Bruno whatsoever. I just would wish our club would be a team that isn't reliant on individuals, because we see what happens to teams like Arsenal who are heavily reliant on Saka.
One injury and it's over.
I hate that so much, bro. I support the Boston Celtics in basketball. My best player, Trisho, hardly at times sits on the bench for 2 weeks and we still smack teams clean. That's what
we take that individualism for granted because like with Arsenal, Saka was injured. With Bruno, he's never injured. So it's never a thing where we can be like, okay, Bruno's injured. Now what? I know that there was a game, I think it was last season or the season before in that Europa League where he got suspended and we got absolutely torn apart in the second leg.
Yeah.
And like I think that was one of the few games where it actually showed. I mean, I remember it was before the Spurs game away. He got injured. He was wearing a protective boot, and then 2 days later he started. Like there are very few.
Was a
players-
Thursday.
remember
It was
that.
a Thursday night game.
Yeah.
It was a Thursday
Yeah.
night game.
Yeah.
There's like there's never been the chance for the owners or the players or the fans to really see what it would be like without the individualism that is Bruno. Because if Bruno doesn't play,
The problem,
we're
the
shit.
problem,
It is a problem.
the problem that Ineos will have on this is one, it's a huge risk. Two, in it being a huge risk, it's going to be perceived as if they're cost cutting. Because if they sell him
But they are
for 90 bar,
cost-cutting.
hold on, let me finish. If they sell him for 90 bar, okay, you guys are wanting to see that 90 bar being used to purchase players and quality players. And unfortunately, the market has changed. And and that heaven deal that you're speaking on a bar, that was a good fluke. It's a
Dogu
one.
as well.
Hold on.
Don't say it's a fluke.
No.
Ineos have really made signings that are,
But actually, you can't say Dogu because if Brighton went for Dogu, he would have been 10 million, not 30. We also need to take that into account.
Yeah.
So for 90 mil and what you get from Bruno on the pitch right now, in context, I don't think you guys should let him go.
Nope. I for the sake of the team, I don't. But also we need to take into account his
as an
31 in
outsider.
September.
As an outsider, it'll be best comedy show ever if you let him go. Because one, you guys are gonna lose your shit. Two,
I personally
you are
will
going to
enjoy
be
it.
fight. Oh fuck yeah.
Me
In as much as
personally,
these
I don't
kids,
have
guys,
any issues with him leaving personally.
in as much as
Hold
these
on, hold
kids
on.
Let me finish my train of thought
Okay,
before
Mugubani, you
I
can
lose
finish.
it. In as much as these kids are good, there is something that is the phenomenon that is Bruno. Bruno, when the chips are down, you guys
Against
look
Leicester
around.
City, yeah.
You
when the
look
chips are
around
down
and
He
against-
who do
just scored
you?
a hat-trick in a Europa League knockout game. A hat-trick.
against who? Sociedad. Yay.
Okay.
Well done.
He got an assist against Liverpool, got a goal against 2 goals in 2 games against Arsenal, got a goal against Man City.
And for me, dude, until this nigga wins proper trophies, I am not gonna rate him as
Then
highly
give
as
him
you
a
can.
good team. What if he goes to Madrid? Watch him break the La Liga scoring record.
That's
No,
I'm not
good.
scoring record,
now
sorry, assist
you're
record.
Yeah,
Not
like
scoring.
the La
not
Liga
scoring.
scoring
Whoa,
record is
whoa, whoa, whoa.
73.
Not
see
not
He's
scoring.
not going to
Not-
touch 73.
You see
Not
Shabazz
scoring
You
assist.
see Shabazz number
Mistake.
8. You see Shabazz number 8. Shabazz has seen his number 8 pull them in Champions League and lift the big ears. Haven't
And
you,
he's seen
Shabazz?
and he's
That's-
seen the
that's
number
a-
8 slip.
Slip,
He's seen the number
but
8
still.
slip.
Yeah, he's seen him slip. Cool.
And join
But
another
still.
club.
But he got us there in the first place.
Yeah,
Where-
but,
where's
Get sent
that?
off and then join another club.
yeah, but still, bro, like for me, I'll only rate you highly. Like, you see.
No, look, I understand what you're saying, but if you're playing with shit, you're not going to win
Yeah.
anything. Okay,
Hey,
but,
man.
put it this way, right? In 21-22,
You
we
can't
had-
even name this player.
Yeah, 100%.
Isn't that Daromir
You see-
Snitzer?
No, it's not. Point
Oh.
proven.
Well, your camera is bad. I don't know who that is.
My camera is fine. It's just nobody knows who this. Well, I know
Using
who
a
this
Mobi-
guy is.
He's using a Mobicel laptop.
Yeah.
But just speaking
No,
on,
there's.
on-
I haven't taken it out of the plastic yet.
Wow. You see?
It's called a
This
sleeve.
is
But
you
anyway,
see, I understand.
so
if would look for me, dude, like I said, I'm from an era where I've seen this team of ours who lift heavy stuff. So I'm not gonna drop my standards regardless, bro. Because
Let me answer the three of you something, right? Do the
Yeah.
three of you consider Bruno Fernandes a Manchester United legend?
No,
Nah.
yes.
not at all.
no,
Not at all.
Well,
no.
sorry.
Not
Let
at
me.
all.
I'm the
No.
only one. Since
Yeah,
I'm the
you
only
know,
one who
Silen-
off ramps.
Silen
Hold
is
on.
trolling.
Hold on.
Silen
Hold
is
on. I'm not
trolling.
trolling.
He's
Stop
trolling.
fucking- Do you want to hear my point, or are you gonna just call me a troll and that's it?
Trolling.
This is honestly okay. I'm not trolling or anything. I think he deserves the title, and this is in context to what he's done for
Legend!
the club.
legend, Doug.
One of
You
the
You
Legend.
can call him a cult hero. You can
No.
call him
Yeah.
You can call him a hero.
Legend.
You can call him the best player in
in
this
the last
era.
2 seasons.
Yeah.
In
He's
the
been
last
the
2
best player
seasons
since
or in the last
Ferguson has
3
left.
seasons. Yeah,
but he's not
which
a
player has
legend,
stood
though.
up?
Nah, he is.
Which player
I
has
think he is.
consistently stood up?
Have you seen the players?
No, but
that
now I'm
we
agreeing with experts. Stood up for what?
But you see what I'm saying? You
All
see
the
what I'm
shit
saying,
that they were
Shiva?
getting.
This is my argument about Bruno Fernandes, is that we are putting him on pedestals that he shouldn't be
Yeah.
in.
It's
And that's
too
my
high, guys.
argument.
Too high.
It's way too high, dude.
But
And
like,
for people,
that's
look
what
at the
happens
comment
when
section. How old is Tato B squared? Can I ask? Like, how
guys
old
our
is he?
age.
He's our age.
Wait,
when did
now,
he
but
get
your
PSG?
age and my
In
age are two very
2010.
different ages. Let's
Yeah,
just
Yeah, it's like,
like, when did
But-
he start watching Premier League? In the 2010s, dog.
before then.
No, this guy Tato Squid, bro.
Oh, wow.
To consider,
Yeah, nah, before. Before. He's been pushing it. He's an Arsenal.
Do you know how many dogs have played for United?
if he's an Arsenal fan, that means he must have been watching, when those two Frenchmen were around.
Yeah.
United
So
has had
I think
dogs,
there was a subject that you guys spoke on, and I kind of like missed it. Well, not missed it, but I got interested, and then I went back 10 years ago, like 2015, and then I had a look at the PFA team thingy. So and this argument was around how standards have like gone down. This is the team, the PFA team for 2015, right? De Gea, Ivanovic, Cahill, Terry, Ryan Bertrand, Hazard, Coutinho, Matic, Sanchez. Hold on. I'll get to where I'm going with this. Sanchez, Harry Kane, Costa, Gents. Like, none of these kids that are on the up right now can make it into this team.
Besides the
None
left
of them.
because
Well,
Ryan Bertrand.
But which left back? Which left back in the league right now is better than Ryan Bertrand?
Kirkes?
Nah.
Yes.
Nah.
Yes.
No.
Kirkes?
No.
Yes.
No.
A
Maybe
foot
not.
Luke Shaw. I know it's a big asterisk, but a foot Luke Shaw. 100%.
How often does
It
it
doesn't happen. That's why I said there's a very big asterisk.
You have to wait for the pie shops to close for that boy to be fit. But
Yeah,
like,
but
I don't
another
see
thing is-
any of the players walking in here.
Prime Andy Robertson is probably better than him, but Andy Robertson is not in his prime. Like Andy Robertson right now, this season, Andy Robertson is not better than 10 years ago, Ryan Bertrand.
Yeah, I think Chelsea has really dropped the ball.
It was Bertrand and Klein, wasn't it? The left back and the right
That
back
was
for Palace.
Southampton.
Yes.
Southampton, yeah. But as well, Shaw, remember 18-year-old Shaw also made PFA.
Yes, in 2012, no, 2013, 2014, he was PFA Team of the Year at 17.
Before we bought him.
If he didn't break his leg, he probably would have been.
Yeah, I think psychologically that
broken
leg,
broken leg, broken dreams. But yeah, it's
guy,
gone downhill.
This guy, dog.
This is why
he's saying that, because they've got so many wonder kids. If one of them break their leg, they've still got two in that same position. He doesn't need to worry.
Yeah, and they're all equally bad anyway. So
yeah.
And those under.
I think it was worse. It was worse 2016, because that's when Mahrez and N'Golo Kante, Dele Ali is in there as well. Oh, freaking hell! Spurs have 4 players in the PFA team, and yet still they didn't.
By giving him a new contract, Rizzo. That's the Rizzo 2. Brazil had to make a second account to get unbanned.
But not out.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I'm not the administrator. As you can see, my hands are here.
Let me ask you something. If we win the Europa League and he lifts it, would you consider that a success?
No, that would be a success due to how terrible we are this season, and I get to banter in. But he's not a legend still. He's still not a legend.
Not a legend.
That's not a legend.
Not a legend.
You have to win the area
trophies.
The problem is that you guys.
I'm viewing it in context as to the situation that you guys are in.
Yeah,
you guys have better players that are not considered legends.
Yeah, indeed, Shava.
Like who?
Like Berba.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
He's not a Manchester United legend.
Exactly. Yeah. And he's a better player.
And he wasn't better. Zlatan was not better for us than Bruno was.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Jose Mourinho were the only 2 men that made your club look like a functioning club since Ferguson left.
Yeah.
That's
Mourinho finished second with that bunch.
Yeah.
If we're being honest, we have to give him credit.
dude.
Zlatan literally won you guys a Europa League.
Mm-hmm.
He was
On his
injured
own.
from the quarterfinal.
And
he wasn't
still
even our
he
top
won you
scorer.
guys the Europa League.
He wasn't our top scorer in the
No,
Europa League
it's
campaign.
not about it's about the influence, not the how many goals did he score.
Oh, hold on.
Got your team behaving
Shiva.
properly.
That's why I was saying I view him as I view Bruno as a legend in context to what he's doing for the club in the past 3 seasons.
But when you are talking about a legend, you're not talking within context of 3 seasons. You're talking about context of the history of the club.
100%.
There's Bobby Charlton. There's Wayne Rooney. There's Paul Scholes.
My argument, I hear now and I agree with you, but I'm looking at it in context to where the club is right now. It's in the shits, and he is standing up time and time again.
He's the only one that's standing up. He's the only one that's standing up. When everyone else's heads has dropped,
it makes him undoubtedly the best player of this era for United, but that's not good enough to be a legend.
He's not a legend, guys. Come on, let's raise our standards. Let's go back in time and watch other.
That's impossible with your owners. That's impossible with your owners.
Yeah, well, for a person who spent $1 billion out here, you should shut the fuck up, bro. There's nothing. There's nothing. Look in the mirror more.
I'm 10 places ahead of you.
You're
forgetting that. I'm 10 places ahead of you.
Yeah, but still, we're gonna win a trophy.
I'm not talking about 10 points. I'm not talking about 10 points. I'm taking 10 places.
Yeah, but still, that doesn't mean shit. No one can.
And I'm not even correct in the 10 places, but you believe it because that's how bad you are.
Yeah, but you guys are also bad. Your team is also bad, bro. Your team is also bad.
In the top half.
There's levels of bad, X. There's bad but respectable. That's Arsenal. There's bad, but I can still see you when I unlock my phone. That's Chelsea. Wait, let me just double check that. Hold on, I need to double check this. I need to double check this. Wait, I'm double checking. I am fact checking myself.
Is Palmer playing?
Checking myself. Yeah, there's bad, and I can still see you when I unlock my phone. And then there's click to view full table bad. And you guys are not even there. You guys are below that even. Because even when I view full table, I still don't see you.
So, dog, I keep telling you guys, we just need to win Europa, and then we're gonna silence everyone because we qualify for Champions League and we get to play.
I want us to finish 17th on goal difference and still win the Europa League. Because that will be the funniest thing to that is the most hilarious thing that will happen because the amount of money that we'll spend because of that Champions League money will be ridiculous.
And another thing is that
you've spent money recklessly, but
but you guys also spent money recklessly.
You spent £5 billion on Brazilians that we can't even name.
Bro,
hold on.
Done the same. You spent on Sancho. Now you want to give him
back. Sancho is so bad. You're paying us to take him back. Sancho's been so bad. You're paying us to take him back. 5 million.
Look at the mirror.
Okay, I've got.
I had a question earlier for Ngubane, and
wait, before you
I haven't got a chance to. Okay.
Yeah, you asked the question.
No, I haven't asked my question yet.
No, you will. Just give me a second.
I will put it in the comments.
I'm thinking about this thing of like club legend. Okay, so I've got into all the players that have won player of the season, Man United players. Okay, first. He's won it 4 times. Cristiano, okay, so he's a club legend.
Bigger legend than Chelsea's entire legendary. Ronaldo takes everyone out of Chelsea, dog. Ronaldo gets us no.
We're talking about Man United here, so we'll
Ngubane is bigger than your club.
He's bigger than your club, CR7, and that's a fact.
And that's only his United days. It's just his United days.
And I actually think he's had more years at the top of world football than your club.
Exactly.
I don't really care.
It's someone just who we got. Remember, we got him when he's still had buck teeth, dog. Where he had no places. Where he looked like, hey, bro,
buck teeth and noodle hair. They dropped the Dublin curry on his head.
So, Dublin curry. Okay, let me finish this. Okay, cool. So, because this argument of club legend and whatnot. Okay, cool. Yeah. So, Cristiano has won the player of the season for Man United. It's the Sir Matt Boxley, whatever. Yeah. Okay. Cristiano 4 times. De Gea 4 times.
Is De Gea a club legend?
Yeah,
that's
he
the
is.
that's
You know
that's
why?
the question I want to
Okay,
get
yeah,
to.
You know
okay,
why?
all right.
You
No,
know why?
there we can agree.
You know
Right,
why?
okay.
You know why? He's won the Premier League before.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's
and
done
then
so.
hold on.
Heavy trophy.
When we
Won a
win the
heavy
Premier League
trophy.
next season, I will be back
Oh
here
my.
and I
Thank
will be
you.
posting the
Ho-
photos of Bruno
100%.
Fernandes lifting that trophy.
You see there, I will agree with you there. You see, when
You
that
can get
happens,
yourself one
I
of
will
these
agree
pictures.
with you. Yeah, you see,
Sorry,
Trish,
I
guys.
will,
when
Let me
you
I will
win
be,
finish
that,
you won't
this.
even see my face. It won't be my face. It'll just be the
and
photo of Bruno lifting the
yeah,
Premier League trophy. Next year in May,
and
May
Guys, it's
2026, I'm going to
and,
be here. I'm going to
and you
be
it's
see,
good
here.
to have dreams, guys.
and
It's
you
good
see,
to have
Trishel,
dreams.
and Trishel, I
To do
will
something
agree
to
with
aspire
you.
to.
I will
Yeah.
agree with you there. I would be like,
Okay,
okay, my
cool.
guy, I
So,
agree.
um,
Yeah,
um, Cantona, is he a club legend?
Oh,
he
he's
is.
a
Of
football
course.
legend.
Nigga,
He's won it twice. Okay.
so
Guess
that's
how
what
many
I'm
times
saying.
Bruno? Hold on.
Nguban,
Guess how many
Nguban,
times Bruno has won it?
you are making a very grave mistake here, which
Oh,
it's what we in philosophy called, I don't remember the name, but it's where you are comparing two things as if they are the same. You
yeah.
cannot
Well,
compare.
you did
No,
the
no,
same.
you
You
can't.
did
No, no,
that. Hold on.
hold on, hold on. I'm not done. I'm not done. And I haven't even asked my question yet. But anyway, it's easy to win United Player of the Season when you are competing with Garnacho and
Thank
Ahmad
you.
and these
Hey,
losers,
respect
right?
Ahmad.
Listen,
Respect Ahmad.
Ronaldo
not Ahmad,
was
yeah.
competing with Wayne Rooney, with Paul Scholes, with Ryan Giggs, with okay, maybe not Roy Keane, but not far off that
Village.
era,
Yeah,
right?
fine. I hear you.
Nemanja Vidic, Rio Ferdinand. Who else did you name? Who else
Van
did you
Nistelrooy.
name?
Well,
Van Nistelrooy.
Van
Yeah, Roy
Nistelrooy.
Keane is twice.
yeah,
So Bruno, for all those that want to know, has won it 3 times. But yes,
yeah.
granted, I hear
And
you.
probably will
It's
have a
I
fourth at the
shouldn't
end of the
I
season.
shouldn't compare two things just because they look alike. Kind of like what Trent is doing right now, where he's looking at okay, it's two football clubs, they do look alike, but the other is Madrid, the other one is in the
The worst
Swansea.
left
Just
swing
saying.
I've ever seen. We went
Your point didn't even land. But anyway, we'll Shame,
It
guys, it's
didn't
past
land
his
at all.
bedtime. Let's.
I just want
Can
to say on
I
Trent
ask
because
my question?
I
Can
sat
I
there
ask my
with
question? Can I ask my question? I have a question for Gubane. So,
Yeah.
how long do you think Cole Palmer goes without Champions League football?
Before he gets frustrated.
Yes.
Before he signs for United. Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
he's
fuck.
May,
We said
June
Yeah.
next year. Cole
No, I'm
Palmer.
just
You
saying.
want to see
We
the
can
Bruno
take
replacement?
Palmer
There
from
he
you
is.
though. See,
There
we
he
will
is.
take Palmer from
Now
you.
I understand
Yeah.
why I have to drink to put up with you fuckers.
We will take him as a United boy. That same 90 million we're going to get from Madrid.
Yeah.
We'll be buying Palmer. And on top of that, we need to keep Sancho.
Yeah, we'll
That's
take
how
Sancho
nice
and
we'll be
then
about it. We'll give you
Palmer.
90 million plus Sancho, and you can
Yeah.
send Palmer on his way. He's
I
boiling.
believe.
Let us know.
I believe
To your
the
question.
words you are looking for in Guban is I see it a lot from the ladies now. It's called Dululu is a Sululu. That's what's
Thank you.
going on here.
Slurgulu. Yo, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me put this guy to bed, guys.
Oh yeah, Ish. And I was gonna segue to this, Shiva, bro. This thing about Sihle under 21 team beating the first team. You know, stuff that we
You know what it is? You know what it
Yeah.
is? The under
Yeah.
21 team is not coached by Maresca. That's why.
No. It's that the under 21 team is their first team. There was just 22 of them, and
That's
they put
also
them
true.
in two
That's
different
also
teams.
true.
You
That's
also need to
also
remember
true.
that the first team is under 21s and Sanchez. That's literally
And
what it is.
and how much did this team spend, guys? Like Trishel, Shiva, I forgot the figure.
2.4 billion Great British pounds. That's about 45 billion naira. Like, come on, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, and you guys go, bloody hell, man. Bloody hell.
Damn, Sihle. What's happening at your club, dog? Mike, I think Mike called us a long
Mike
time
called us. We need to give Mike his flowers.
Chelsea
Man saw this
winning the
coming.
league.
Wait. Hold on. Sorry.
And
Hold
Mike
on,
has
guys.
been calling it out since October, guys. And this
Man saw this
guy,
coming. We gotta give him the flowers he deserves.
yeah.
No, hold on. Is the league over? Maybe I missed it during the international break. I don't know, because like you're already like flowers and shit and saying Chelsea's
Yeah.
dead and crap.
It's
I don't know.
dead,
Maybe the
man.
international break has you guys missing so much of football that you're delusional that the league is done and you've won a trophy of some sort.
Yeah, they haven't won anything yet. Well, neither have we. We also haven't won anything yet.
On the way, if you all
Okay,
bottle
cool.
that league,
So-
it'll be so funny. It will be so funny, and I will love it.
I think I'll go watch darts or something.
It'll suit you because you can't fucking hit the target. But anyway, what's going on with my team? It's growing pains. That's what happens when you invest too much on kids. You need a good balance. You need a very good balance of yeah. That's what's going on in my team. You asked the question, I answered.
We're not laughing at that.
Said. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. You know, I forgot about that guy. I still forget that he plays for us. He wears the number 7. He's on 250k a week.
You bought him for 60 bar.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
No, it's not.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
When Palmer hands in a transfer request and there's only 1 year left on his his last year will be in 2032. Never mind.
Yeah, you know, dog. 80 death row contracts. These guys sold their souls, man.
Yeah, but it is what it is, and I'll give a good summary of the season that was when the season is over. For now, let's not preempt that Liverpool have won the league. Okay,
you guys can still win a European trophy. Like your season is far from over.
Yeah, it's far from over, bro. But
when they're like, I think the only club in that trophy. So,
dude, what happens if they lose it, Shiva? We see Chelsea do funny things.
Nah, but I think Man United, they're the only secure club that kind of know their future in that they're not going to really face the relegation chop because they've got like enough points.
We're clear of relegation. We can still definitely finish top half. It's just I said this every single week now. Just throw the league now. Don't worry about it and just focus on Europa League, because when we play against these teams from like Spain, from all these other places, we play well. Because it seems like what he's trying to do works when you have the space, when these teams are coming to your home stadium and trying to attack you, there is space in behind. We can, use that to our advantage and actually play. I mean, we've got Forest at home. I think it's tomorrow. No, sorry, not at home. Away. That's not a game that we should be like, okay, guys, we can win this. Coach is right. We can do this. We can't do that. We can't do that. Just leave it.
Buddy, imagine 15 years ago, you are like, and 15 years ago, Forest, I don't even think they were in the championship. You thought we'd be sitting here with two United fans talking about, no, we shouldn't try to win Forest away.
and one of the guys that is doing very well is their former kid who they said was a flop.
Rhythm is a dancer.
Mm-hmm.
We sold him because we thought Sancho would come right, and now look.
Yeah, look.
Gubani, you'll want to talk because Hudson-Odoi is also pulling strings there.
I'm not playing him, but I'm not playing him.
Didn't Aina also play for Chelsea?
Yeah, he did. He's from the Dev. Yes. He's from the academy.
Yeah. And he's better than Luis, your captain. 2 games a season captain.
A player that I rate from your academy is
you shouldn't have said that about Reece Malisa. You saw the goal that he scored in international duty.
Against who? Latvia.
Against who?
I don't care. You beat whoever is in front of you.
Nah, but you see, this European qualifiers, guys, is full of dead teams, bro. Bafana would also make a World Cup there.
Blame the Queen for that.
Well, actually, maybe not the World Cup, but...
no, we would, bro.
Nah.
We would, dude. Look what we're doing now, Shiva. We're cruising.
Yeah, we're the 3rd best team in international football. Haven't lost since
in 12
how long?
Games.
3 years?
18.
Who were the first 2
games?
18 games.
Who were the first 2?
It's Spain,
Spain and Senegal.
Yeah.
I think they'll give United a run for their money, given how we play.
I know.
Come on, dude. Anyone can give Man United a run. Even Forest is going to do that tomorrow.
It's fine.
I'm playing tomorrow for the first time with some retirees. I'm fairly certain I could take those Oaks to Old Trafford and give you guys a game.
I think we'll show up against Forest. I don't think it's going to be.
I've never been there before. Somewhere in Randburg.
I also think so, Tuchel. We're gonna finish strongly, bro. Watch.
I don't think we're gonna just lay over and die. But you see, that's the mentality. This 15 years ago. Imagine saying this. I don't think that's the right mentality to have in the Premier League now because of the Europa League. You can't put your eggs in the let's try and finish 8th basket, and then someone gets injured, and then we miss out on Europa League.
Wait, because your predictions are not making sense. How can we bottle it if Arsenal are in phase 8 of Trust Arteta and Forest finish 4th? Like, then who's gonna win? You think City are gonna make that big of a comeback?
No, it's just this is the most underwhelming Premier League season of like the last 10 years, honestly.
Nah, and
Like,
he knows
It's
it.
not our
He knows
fault that you're bad.
no. Every team is saying the same thing. I mean, except for Arsenal fans, this is like they
For
three-peat
them,
second place. That's crazy. But like, it's been so boring. Like nothing exciting. Like Forest have been the most exciting thing to come out of the league this season. It's so boring. It's so meh. Like it's so boring and meh. Your club's childhood boy is abandoning ship to go to Madrid. That's how boring it is.
You also failed to land. Just like how Guban failed to land earlier, you also failed to land.
Nah,
I
Whatever
don't know
the
why
two
he's
of you are
making that
doing.
move, to be honest. I really don't understand why he's making that move. He should just stay at Liverpool. I thought Valverde was prime for that right back position, given how many bloody midfielders they have. But I don't know what Don Carlo is trying to operate with. I mean, Valverde plays right wing as well when Rodrigo is not fit. So I really don't know what Carlo is going to try to do. I think they should be focusing more on trying to get in a centre back. Jonathan Tah is also on a free. They need a centre back.
dude.
All the centre backs are forever injured.
No,
Perez is a mafia.
Saliba. They must go for Saliba. They need to cripple Arsenal.
Yeah.
Arsenal, dude, these teams, they need to, because let's believe, Trisho, bro, this is a good time, dog. Like, teams are all, like, the playing field is going to be leveled in, like, the next 2 seasons.
Look, once Madrid come calling, you don't say no. Like that was the point I was trying to make earlier. Like you can love Liverpool or your childhood club, you can play for them, but when Madrid knocks, it's just a different.
There is someone who said no to Madrid.
No, he handed in 2 transfer requests, and because you threatened his family, he stayed. Don't bring Steven Gerrard.
He said no to Madrid.
He didn't say no. He
said no to Madrid.
It wasn't by
He said no to Madrid. No. Look. No one, even Jose himself said he tried to sign him 3 times, but all 3 times his blood spoke. He stayed.
Okay, then why the MLS manager didn't have that same problem when they bought him for LA Galaxy?
Because he went there to retire, guys.
There's only 2 one-club players. 3.
Oh my
Giggs,
God.
Neville, and Scholes. Gerrard is not a one-club player.
I'm guessing you don't watch Italian football, do you?
No, I'm saying from the Premier League. And John Terry. From the Premier League.
John Terry is not a one-club player. John Terry, no, that was Lampard. John Terry went on loan for 2 years. John Terry went on loan for 2 years before he broke into the Chelsea team.
Okay, so then it's just those 3. So are you admitting that it's not Gerrard?
Jamie Carragher.
Yeah, that one.
We're talking about good players now. Come on.
Who's that? Richard Dunn.
Yeah, now you failing to land. Now you
Foden.
the pedal.
Oh my God,
No, Criso, no,
Can we switch this guy off again?
No. He's still on that Christmas wine.
A United legend never left on a free. Wayne Rooney went back to Everton.
Vidic left on a free.
Vidic left on a free to Inter Milan.
Okay, but Ferdinand on a free. Evra wasn't on a free, but it might as well have been.
Yeah, because these guys
Van der Sar
retired. Hello, David De Gea.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. I think
De Gea was forced out.
We did.
But also, is Trent a Liverpool legend?
Yeah,
I think he is.
I don't know.
To grow up and support a club and then win every single trophy with them while being your first choice.
Hey, what do you say?
Please come home. The kids miss you, bro. Please. But yeah, look, you grow up supporting a club, you play for them, you win every single trophy with them, including the Club World Cup, the European Cup, and your first choice in a position. Definitely a legend. Definitely a legend. And the fact that when you're leaving the club, you're not leaving to a West Ham, a Brighton. You're leaving to go to Real Madrid.
You're going to the pinnacle.
Yes.
To the pinnacle.
For sure, he's a legend. There's no 2 ways about it.
You see that I can't.
But I think we also forgetting that
better than Glenn Johnson,
only recently they started having legends. Like for 30 years, they didn't have any.
Is Mane a Liverpool legend?
Yes,
Yeah.
easy,
Fuck
easy,
Easy.
easy.
Okay,
Fuck
yeah.
yeah. But
Easy.
there was.
Okay,
Of course,
right,
legend.
man, right.
Yeah. Easy, dude.
I wish I
You
had
see
a
that
picture of
front
Demba
three?
Ba.
You see that front three? Mane, Firmino,
Salah.
and Salah. For this era, I know they cooked.
And we must remember,
Yeah.
Trent is
That's
also
why,
not just leading with one
Bruno
Premier
is
League;
for
he's
this
leading with
era.
two.
Bruno is for this era.
Thank
Bruno is a
you,
club legend for this era.
No.
thank
Your
you,
club
Sishle.
your Citle's club legend is Mason Mount. Genius. Kai Havertz.
Yes, because he
Kai
was
Havertz.
shit and he
Havertz,
got your
Mason
65 million
Mount.
pounds.
Yes, that's what you guys are talking about.
Those are
Oh, well,
your
he gave us
legends.
60 mil, so thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
And a
exactly.
UEFA Champions League. At least you also have got a Champions League, dude. Like Champions League
Mason-
is a
Look at
big
Bruno,
league.
Bruno's
What-
ears.
I even have
Hey,
a
this
question.
guy.
I even have a question in closing, guys. What's bigger, Premier League or Champions League?
Champions
if you
League.
choose, if you
Champions
would choose
League.
which one
Champions League.
you win.
Yeah.
If
thank you.
I was a football player, I would
Mhm.
want to win the Champions League even over the World Cup.
We've
There are
got.
a
I
couple of
think the
episodes-
best way to put it is
Mm.
we've got 19 and they've got 20. But if you look at Champions Leagues, we've got 6 and they've got 3. That probably tells you which one is harder to win, right?
Yeah.
There are
Facts,
episodes.
I mean, even with
There are
Madrid, they've got
episodes 4
30
years
something La Ligas, but 14, 15 Champions Leagues. And remember, they won the first 5 in a row because
Look,
the Champions
it's-
League was made for Madrid.
It's difficult for me because I spent most of my life, I'm not going to tell you how long, but long enough, wanting the Premier League more than anything. I've seen us win 2 Champions Leagues in that time. So for me, for that period, the Premier League was bigger. But now that we've won it,
It
Look, I
is the
wouldn't-
Champions League.
There is an episode where X went and said the EPL is bigger than Champions
No.
League.
When?
Modisa was in that episode.
Win.
I will find it somewhere in the
Yes, it is.
internet.
Find it.
He
This
keeps
guy,
it as-
Somewhere in the internet.
no, this guy is starting
look,
something.
okay, I don't think you are wrong if you think the Premier League is bigger than the Champions League.
Thank you.
But you are also not
Champions League
wrong
is
for
bigger.
thinking
It's
that the
continental
Champions League is
football.
bigger than the
Right.
Premier League.
Champions League.
Look at it this way, right? In the 1900s, there were many times where the FA Cup was looked at as bigger than the first division.
Yeah.
The first division being what the Premier League is now. That's the
Mm.
FA Cup. The Champions League was always
That was because the
pinnacle.
FA Cup was on TV. That's the difference. The FA Cup was televised. That's why it was bigger.
Yeah, but the Champions League was always the Champions League. You can make the argument for Champions League and World Cup, sure, fine. But even in that case, if I was a player, I would still want big years more than the Golden Trophy.
Me too.
No, guys, the World Cup is bigger. The World Cup is bigger.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I also think the
No,
World Cup
like
is
the World Cup is the pinnacle of
Yes, but if you were a
But the
player, which one would
quality-
you rather win?
No,
I
you'd
know
rather
the
win the World Cup. I'll
World
tell you
Cup
why.
for your
Mm.
people.
The quality in the Champions League is higher than the quality of any World Cup tournament nowadays, right?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's arguing that. But
Mm.
when someone who has no idea about football, for that month, they're the biggest football fan you can imagine,
Facts.
True.
right? But the Champions League, they can't tell you when the Champions League final is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
another thing
I'm
is
not saying
Shabab-
I'm not saying that the World Cup is smaller than the Champions League. I'm just saying that if I was a player, I would want to win it would go Champions League, World Cup, Premier League, FA Cup.
I disagree with that one as well because let's take Per Mertesacker for example. He's never really won anything, right? Everybody's given him shit, but he's gonna go home. He's gonna polish his World Cup winners medal, and
Mhm.
what are you gonna say
That's
to
it.
that?
He's a legend in his
that's it.
country.
He's gonna
To
tell
his
he's
people.
gonna tell his
people
grandkids that
is
I made
everything.
shit happen.
I've
It's like-
won the World
it's
Cup.
like same thing. It's like the same thing with Mbappe. As much as this guy has, remember last season how he was misbehaving, the French citizens still hold that man to a high regard because of what he's done at the World Cup.
Got a World Cup.
And he's got 4 goals in the
Speaking of
final.
which,
That's a
speaking of
flex,
which,
bro.
I
Only
rewatched.
Ronaldo
I
has
rewatched
more
the
goals in a
Saudi.
final than Mbappe.
Yeah.
I rewatched the final, the Saudi final, the France versus. Oh, guys, we were treated some beautiful football there.
The last, the game was boring.
Look, I think the World Cup for sure. I mean, the World Cup final is the biggest live event. Sporting, concert, music, religion, whatever it is, it's the biggest spectacle on planet Earth for sure. But I'm saying from a quality standpoint, from wanting to play in it, I would just choose the Champions League. I don't know why. I just always, I mean, I think it's because I only saw my club win one Champions League. Maybe that's why. But Shivar also only saw his club. Oh no, you've seen twice. You've seen two.
But I
Okay,
take
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, the World Cup. I don't think I'm not too keen on next year's World Cup, not because of the actual World Cup, but more the location of it. Because I think those fans in the stadium it's going to be fight and win. Go Mbappe, score a touchdown! Yeah, it's going to be like
I believe that we will win.
Score a touchdown.
Fucking Ray.
Score a touchdown, like it's going to be one of those things. And also, given everything that's going on in the US now, I think that's the worst time to put a global event in a place.
And as well, time zones,
because the tickets are going to go up. Even after you bought them, they will go up by 25%.
Yeah, and I think the matches will be like maybe 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning for us, if it's because they're like 6 or 7 hours behind. So like the late night games will be like 2, 3, 4.
It'll be similar to the Brazil World Cup, and I remember staying up to all hours watching that World Cup.
But that wasn't too late.
You know why, Shivar?
I was watching Peru versus Ghana at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
You know why?
But nobody asked you to do that.
But as well, Shivar, it's because you didn't have year end and month end.
That's also true.
Yeah.
That's also
Now
true. I didn't have those problems in my life. I didn't have those problems in my
When
life.
was it?
Going to lectures was optional.
Yeah, exactly.
Champions League, the past couple of rounds where I think the Liverpool game went until like the following day, and then the following day Madrid went the following. I felt it the Thursday.
At
least you made it through. That one of those games, I got to halftime and I'm like, guys, this is too much for me.
I've been told through show, bro. Like after halftime, just halftime, I went to bed, bro. Even if the game is hot.
He waits for me to tell him what happened the night before.
Yeah, I'd always tell him. I ask him like, "Hey, what happened, bro?" Even with United, I'd just ask him. To be honest with you,
and then if we lose, you wouldn't have to ask me because Sishle will be in the group telling us that we lost.
I have to remind him.
Yeah. But anyway, gents, I think that's about it, man. 1 hour and 12 minutes. Thank you so much. As per usual, guys. Like this is therapy. I mean, it's like we said, year end, month end. It's been stressful.
Year end, month end, fatigue, whatever.
Not even the weekend, guys.
Not even.
Yeah, it's a Monday.
It's a Monday. But at least there's games tomorrow and the clocks have been moved forward, if I'm not mistaken. So they're gonna be earlier the game, so which is a good thing. So at least we'll get to watch our team to show beat Nottingham.
Yes. Positivity. Yes.
Yeah, get in, lads. Anyway,
yeah.
Anyway, guys, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Help a brother out. This is Easy Sports, and we are out. Peace.